Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I have a message for Libra today, and to let you know how this works, I've asked my guides in spirit to bring through a message that is strongly beneficial and uplifting for you this week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So glad you're here. I strongly invite you to subscribe so that you can stay in contact with this high vibration, beneficial information from the other side every week. It can really help support you on your journey as you move forward. And if you're returning, really please know that I do so much appreciate your energy and your presence and everything you bring to this channel. So let's get started with your reading, Libra, because there's big stuff happening. We have the theme of journeys. Before I show you your cards, we have the theme of journeys going on this week for both what the universe is showing to you and what you're being asked to respond with. So I'm not talking about literal going places, but I'm talking about the inner journeys that tend to happen. So universe is presenting you with this Eight of Cups card, Eight of Cups energy. You're feeling on the other side like this wheel. I love this wheel card. So I really enjoy this deck so much, but what I especially love about the Eight of Cups card is that it's about getting yourself to higher ground. It's about leaving behind the lower emotions, the lower things that didn't serve you, anything that you have an emotional attachment to that kind of keeps you bogged down, keeps you heavy. You notice these cups are being left behind. And she's so much lighter on her journey as she goes up. So this is what the universe is asking you to do. It's kind of an emotional or spiritual house cleaning. Cord cutting also is coming into my mind. So this may be about revisiting old cords that you thought were cut, or maybe you need to make sure they're really cut for real. Because again, we're talking about a journey, we're talking about forward movement. Now, like I said, you are responding with this wheel energy. You feel something shifting and you're feeling something turning. This wheel is an important image in a lot of different cultures, especially in the language of this deck, the changing and the turning of the seasons. That song from, I can't remember who it was, but I know it's from the 60s, To Everything, Turn, 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 There Is a Season, Turn, Turn, Turn. They're talking about this wheel idea. So it's kind of like you have times when you're on top of the world, you're on the bottom of the world, times where you're rebirthing yourself, times where you're dying. So as we're moving towards this winter solstice on December 21st, there's a lot of time right now to let go and to make sure that we walk into the new year completely light and completely unfettered. So rambling, bring it back in a wheel, right? So you're feeling this shift. That's all I'm trying to say, is you're feeling the shift inside. But what you're being asked to do is a bit more emotional, although you may just kind of sense it. So let's keep going. Lovely cards coming next. The Feralilt, and if I am mispronouncing that, I am very much apologize. I'm doing my best. Going into the Four of Cups and then going into the Three of Wands. So again, we have this idea of stuff happening behind the scenes, things happening almost on the subconscious level, and it maybe doesn't match what's going on the outside, but this is why we're here. So we can talk about this. This card is talking about a major kind of blending, a major kind of alchemy, where we're talking about reconciling of opposites, the male and the female sides of you coming together, the duality that you feel in yourself, sometimes this versus that, coming together to become a we. And it comes together to alchemize your life into a different kind of creative vision and creative direction. Wow, we're really going interesting places with these cards today. There is so much light and there's so much development in this card. So it's almost like you know what the male and the female are. And when you bring them together, they create something that is like far beyond anything you could have imagined. It's just, I know this is a simple metaphor, but like when a man and a woman come together and they make a child, that child is such a miraculous creation. Yes, you can kind of see, all right, it's got a little bit of the dad, it's got a little bit of the mom, but they're also their own person. And they've got their own attributes that have nothing to do with mom and dad, but it was that creative act of bringing those two sides together that created this wondrous, amazing kind of miracle. And that's what's happening in your subconscious. So we go back here, you're being asked to unburden yourself, to let go, to drop some stuff, cut some cords, make sure they're cut. So you get yourself to higher ground. We feel the change. And this is that change that we're talking about. This is what's going on behind the scene. And there's a rainbow in the background. I just love that. The unity with different colors. So there's identity within unity. So there's something more, there's something bigger kind of that your soul is giving birth to. Now back on the ground, so back on earth, back at the ranch, we've got this going on, the Four of Cups. I'm sorry, they were backwards. I always flip this camera. Ugh. So she was off doing her thing. Then we had the Four of Cups going into the Three of Wands. And so at first, although you kind of felt these stirrings of your soul, you're not seeing anything happening. You're really not seeing anything happen on the earth right now. And your emotional state may actually feel more a bit apathetic or non-committal. A strong word coming through. That you're just kind of like, eh. And here's that one cup. This is the promise. This is the promise of all of this. This card, the promise of a new fortune is behind you. It's in the background again. Everything is in the background in this reading. I just love this. So it's in the background for you, but you see that it's upright. You see that it's supported, and you see that it's lush around it. It's very green around it. So it's definitely supported by something bigger than you, by bigger than us, and it's nurtured. So it's just waiting for that right time. Now we get to our Three of Wands and this card. So the green from this cup goes into the green of his tunic. And then he's looking out on this green expansive landscape, like the whole world is open for him. And I talked about the blending of the male and female with this card, that ancient numerology of 1 + 1 is actually 3, right? Because 2 come together to create something new. Look, that's your new creative endeavor coming out, and it opens up the world to you. And so you're sitting there. It's almost like you've left the stuff behind, you've climbed to the higher ground, and then you encounter this. You encounter this man poised, or this energy poised to take life by whatever horns he wants to. So you've got this open field, this wide open field with all of this creative potential, and it's almost like this new self, the creative self that got birthed out of the whole fairy lilt and letting go of things. And it spent enough time in the womb, incubating behind the scenes in the womb, it can come out and just play in this field. There's a path. I don't know if you can see the path. So he's looking out on this path, and he can see even farther than we can as to what's in front of him. But it's wide open. And all the green around, it's a heart path. So again, trying to come back down to earth. It's so hard with these cards because they just take us way out there. This is something that's already been carved by your heart. It's like your heart has made this path for you before you, and you're just waking up to discover it. And when you see it, you will recognize it. It's almost like you'll remember it. It's not even discovering a new thing. It's remembering that it's something that you set out for yourself. So this may be another person. This may be a creative endeavor. This may be a job opportunity, or it could be just a new way of being for you. But you're going to recognize it rather than encounter it. I hope that makes sense, the distinction, because it's something that's already been planted in here, and then when it's seen on the outside, it's like, oh yeah, I recognize that. I remember that. Maybe it's something you've dreamed of, and then you see the realization of your dream in front of you. So Libra, really amazing stuff. Let me see if there's anything else they want me to tell you or want me to share with you. I also just want to say the despondency that you can maybe feel with this energy, like, yeah, okay, I get it. Something's happening, something's turning, something's coming. Where the heck is it? Just know it's coming. And don't be tempted to just get lost in the negative thinking or the impatience or the despair. It seems like a very strong word to use, but I'm drawn to this cup that's lost all of its water. So all of the emotion has just run out. This is just a temporary kind of thing. The other thing is that you may have this direction in this opportunity in front of you, and you may not be that excited about it. And yet, what has happened to create this opportunity is so huge that this really is something to be excited about. This Three of Wands here. So I think we'll end it there for now. Thank you again so much for joining me. And if you are interested in learning a little bit more about me or about any of the stuff I offer, please check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. I will be offering some special solstice readings. I haven't quite decided what the format is, but be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I will let you know more about that next time. And have a great week.